Welcome, Jeff Gere.
I spent about 28 years as the City and County of Honolulu's Department of Parks and Recreation drama specialist. And in that capacity, I did workshops, I did special events, and I did outreach. Now, under that third finger of outreach, I started getting in the habit of giving myself away absolutely free to senior centers, thinking, well, they're in a place and I'm really willing to do it and to practice my tongue, roll over stories. What I learned was that they're the ones that have the stories. And it's a smart boy who just talks, drinks bad coffee, eats donuts with the old ladies in the back of the room, because that's where I learn about Hawaii. What I'm sharing with you happened at the Alolike Native Hawaiian Meal Site program. I loved going there. It's run by a lady named Mapuana. She's passed now, but man, she had no neck. She was a massive human being, big and really active with Hawaiian issues. She would get those old ladies up, they would write petitions, and they would do hula in the place in their walkers. It was great. And they always had good food. And I generally came away with some little anecdote or a story. That's how I start today's session. I ended my stories. I was walking around, shaking with the old ladies, you know, being friends. And there she was.
Hey boy, funny boy, howdy boy, come over here, sit with me, you funny, yeah, you funny.
I learned that her name was Abby. Abby started talking to me away, lots of senior centers, kind of ambles around and floats the subject. She was talking about Panui.
I grew up Panui. This is before McCandless built all the houses.
I say, like, well, we have a park named Pu'unui on the New Wanu freeway on Liliha site. No, Panui, not Pu'unui, Panui. Sam, Panui, Panui. Okay, Panui, I got it.
When I growing up, just before they built all the tract homes, McCandless, it was just Hawaiians and cows. When we go swimming, we go naked. The cows don't care.
Whatever. She starts talking about her neighborhood and the house she grew up in, and about how across the street, the neighbor's house, up near the front porch, there was a big stone.
Pohaku was special. My mama go over there, she plant flowers, make them nice. My uncle come over with a chilangalang. The boys play their ukuleles, guitars, they sing, suck up a few beers. Then they go over and they sing to the stone. Stone special. I remember my auntie come over, she got problems with the husband. She talked to my mama, then she'd go over to the neighbor's house, lay on the stone, talk to the stone. Stone special. She goes on, she says, one day I remember I wake up because my daddy all The father woke up and noticed that the new neighbors in the house across the street had pushed the stone over, rolled it down the street, and it was sitting by the curb as if they were going to take it away like it's trash. He stomps out of the house, a little kid who's telling me the story, the old lady, following her dad up onto the porch of the next neighbor's house. Hey, get up in there. Wake up. The neighbors sleepily wake up. Hello, neighbor. Hey, what, you moved the stone? No, that stone's special. That stone been here longer than you. I tell you what, you guys go and the stone stay. How about that? I said, wow, really likes the stone, huh? Yeah, but don't worry. Next day when we get up, the stone back.
I say, oh, they must have felt horrible. If I was a neighbor and the neighbor yelled at me about moving a stone, I'd probably move it back too. That's what happened, right? No. What then?
In the nighttime, the stone wind get up and move back up the hill. You're telling me that the stone went back up the hill by itself? She looked me in the eye and taught me a Hawaiian word. She said, mana. Mana, boy. Mana. Say it wherever you are right now. Mana. Mana. Spiritual power. That the things that we call inanimate actually have a life. You don't take stones from a heiau, a sacred place for the Hawaiians. It has energy, it has mana, and if you take that energy away, it will make sure that you bring it back. You'll have big trouble. Mana. Mana. In the middle of Oahu, there's a big bowl, and there are the birthing stones. All the ali'i and all the islands for centuries always tried to birth their children in the piko, the belly button of the island. That's where it was. And if you look at the cliffs of Wahiwa, you can see Kolikoli Pass. It makes the outline of a woman's face in profile. Her breast, you can see a nipple, and a big hapai pregnant belly. The place where those stones are has mana, energy, power. Heard a story. The plantation guys wanted to plant cane. And if there was anything in their way, they would have mules with logs, sacred sites of the Hawaiians. Who cares? Push them in the river, down in the gulches. Nobody cares. But when they came to the birthing stones, old Hawaiian woman was standing there. Hey, get out of the way. We're going to move these rocks. They're in the way. We're going to make some cane. Don't touch these stones. You touch these stones, boy, you're going to die. Your family going to die. A curse going to sit on your family for 7 generations, 200 years. Your seed going to blow away like the dust on this plain. And nobody going to remember you was ever here. I'm not threatening. I'm telling you. Don't touch these stones. Because they got mana. If you go to Wahiwa and pass down through the little gorge and go to the other side where there used to be these cane fields, you can still visit the birthing stones. Now, of course, they built a little park around it because they want to build a subdivision around it. I went to Whitmore, which is up in the valley further, an old plantation camp. The old seniors there said, they're not going to build no houses there. We're going to protect them stones. Mana. So when she said to me, yeah, mana, the stone moved back. I'm like, right, got it. I got it. She keeps talking. Yeah, when I was 5, I got a sister about 12 years older than me, 16, 17. Pretty girl, Hawaiian girl, a long hair, the pretty face. You know how Hawaiian girls can get, huh? Also, she was beautiful. Started being one Japanese boy who came around the house, knocking on the door. My daddy come, yeah? I can talk to your daughter. Okay with me if it's okay with her, but don't go in the dark. You sit here on the porch where we can watch you, huh? Uh-huh. He turns on the porch light. My daddy never watch, but me, I little girl in the window, I watch. The boy over here, my sister, every night he come. They talk. A week later, he sit closer. They talk. After a couple of weeks, they sit very close. Don't talk so much. They're falling in love. Oh, so sweet. And they sit and they rap and they talk and they coo and they sigh. Me in the window. After a while, started hearing out in the yard, someone calling, someone wailing, someone threatening, all in Hawaiian. Finally, my daddy, who the heck making the noise out there? She opens the door. And out in the yard is the mama-san, the mother of the Japanese boy in love with her sister. And she's frenetic, she's wild, she's calling to the boy, trying to get him to come back. He's ashamed, but he likes the girl. He stay with her. Finally, one night, she out there, and she's swinging around. She's making a lot of noise. She got one samurai sword. All the elders come out, circle around her, take the sword away. She's weeping like crazy. My daddy, he'd take the sword, he'd put it back in the scabbard, you know, the sheath, the envelope for keep the sword from cutting you. And he'd say, "Hey, Mama-san, here's the sword. This is the future. They love each other. What can you say? It's aloha. Go home, Mama-san. Go home, Mama-san. Be at peace, huh? Be at peace." That night is late. I go up to my room. I go sleep. Panui. Can hear the buffalo frogs down by the river. The rain starts to come down. Nice. So nice. For a while. And then I wake up. I wake up in my bed, a little girl. I wake up because I hear outside screaming, "Ah! Obake! Obake! Obake!" Oh, everybody run outside. There she is, the mama-san, across the street. She on the ground, whacking up. Oh, the samurai sword in the bushes. She whacking him. Obake! 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 She backing up from the stone. They get the old lady. They bring her up. They put her on the porch. They bring her tea, but she's so freaked out. She can't hold on to the tea. She's spilling it all over. She's freaking out. They keep asking, what happened, right? Well, wouldn't you ask that? What happened? 20 minutes is a long time to wait while an old woman, Japanese, is freaking crying. Finally, they get the story. Abby tells it to me and I tell it to you. She said it was a mixture of gesture, of Japanese, of English and sign, lots of movement, lots of tears. The mama-san tells the story. She keeps saying, the robbing, the pain. It's the pain and the rubbing of cultures. Japanese marry Japanese, no marry Hawaiian. Abby kind of pauses in the story. She goes, those days, Japanese marry Japanese, no marry Hawaiian. I remember one time, my daddy say, hey, look at this, and open up the newspaper. There's the story right in the paper with the picture. The picture show old couple, mama-san, papa-san. Story tell about how the son, Japanese boy, fall in love with Hawaiian girl. But the mama and the papa say, no, no can. You got to marry Japanese. But they love each other. They elope. The next morning, papa-san, mama-san, get on good kimono. Take sake. Roll out tatami. Sit formal. Take razor blade. Cut. Bleed. Die. They die. Shame. No can let the boy marry Hawaiian girl. Japanese marry Japanese. Was like it then. That's the way it was. Now anybody marry anybody. It's okay. But, oh, serious those kind. Those days, no can. So the mama-san see the boy falling in love and no can handle. She telling about the pain, the rubbing, the cultures can clash. She can see the love on the porch, but she cannot allow. So in her desperation, she called to the boy, he no come. She go to the old altar and bring down the samurai sword brought from the old world, from grandma when they come from the old world. And she take the sword, walk through the night in the neighborhood, come to the front porch, her hand on the hilt of the sword, rubbing. She start to pull out the sword, but she can see the love between her son and the girl. And she cannot. And so she... And that's when we come out. And my daddy put the sword back in, give it to her, say, Papa-san, this is love. Go home. Be at peace. But she say in her way, crying, there be no peace. No peace. And so in the night, she turns around and she walks back as the rain comes down, and her hand on the hilt of that sword, and the pain, the rubbing, the pain, the rubbing. And she walks towards the house. She's gonna do it. She's gonna kill him. She takes the sword, pulls it out of the scabbard. She can see him on the porch. The sword above her head. She loses her balance. She loses her will. She puts her hand on the stone. She starts to take a step and freezes. She says her hand feels the stone move. The stone moves again. Slowly turning to see the stone. She says that what she sees is not a stone, but what she sees is a stone with the face of a Hawaiian woman. And the stone with the face of a Hawaiian woman is looking down, looking at her and going, she can hear in her bones the sound. Do not do this thing. Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! 20 years later, my sister had a party. And she said, she looking over at the door, and who walked in the door? The Japanese boy who left her that night and never come back. Hey, long time no see, come talk to me. Sit down, let's talk story. They do. What happened after that night? My Lolo mama. She made me promise I never go see you again. So I never did. Well, life goes on. Mama die. I find another woman. I happy. I married. Got 2 kids. But seeing you now, I remember those days. I thought you was going to ask me to marry you. I wanted to, except for my mama. No good. But I did love you. I know. I loved you too. There it is. The Tale of Panui. A true story about a stone which intervened to prevent a Japanese mother from murdering her son and his Hawaiian lover. To prevent that tragedy and that murder, a stone changed its shape.